I'd say the Steel Series.
Steel Series, honestly.
Steel Series.
I'd definitely sit with the Steel Series.
By far.
Definitely the Steel Series.
If I had to pick one of these to pick up in game right now, it's going to be the Steel Series.
Gamers prefer our headsets. Find out why at SteelSeries.com.
Alright, there we go. Well, full screen for you guys and gals at home. Of course, we're going to be waiting for the knife round so we can see which side is going to be starting on which. I feel like that will give us a fairer representation as well as to how this map may potentially go. If you guys are new to the stream, by the way, which I'm sure the vast majority of you are, feel free to hit that follow button. It would mean a lot. It would help the stream push forward, and hopefully I can do many more of these in the future as well, so it'd be pretty awesome. Sensei, shout out, there you go, dude. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. What casting have I done before this? I've been casting for the last 6 or 7 years. I've casted in a bunch of different games. For Counter-Strike, though, I've been casting the last 1.5 years, and I do a lot of stuff on Hitbox, and I also did Gfinity recently, which was in London, with the likes of Semler and Vendetta and teams like Virtus.pro, Cloud9. So that's where you may know my voice from, for those of you that were saying it. Mic muted. You're not going to get me with that. What's the map for Penta and Flipside? I don't know that yet, dude. They're going to do the veto much closer to the match itself. That's still a good hour or 2 away from now, so it's not going to be coming up just yet. So knife round, here we go. Not really going to cast this. It's fairly self-explanatory. You're going to see what happens yourself. You'd expect to see the winner of this more than likely go CT side. What games have I casted before this? I casted Call of Duty back in the day, CS 1.6, CSS, League of Legends, Heroes of Newerth. I've casted a whole bunch of games. I am a new caster for this tournament, but I've been casting a while. It looks like it's going to be all down on Dozier. Oh no, actually they get 2 frags back and HellRaisers win the knife round. Was not expecting that. Let's have a quick look-see if they are going to switch over to the CT side. Indeed they are. So HellRaisers starting on CT. Copenhagen Wolves. Called them Copenhagen Wolves there. Nice one. 10 out of 10. Would cast again. Are going to be on the T side. Just going to have a quick alt-tab and see what's going to happen here if we're live soon. Hopefully we are. There's been a bit of delays here, guys, waiting for the players to get on the server. Thanks for the kind words, guys. Hope you enjoy the stream. Again, I'm not going to be like the most talkative of casters to start off with. I kind of want to conserve my voice as I go through because I'm going to be casting for at least 4 or 5 hours solo tonight. So I hope that you're kind of chilled a bit if I'm not screaming from the very start. It is a best of 2. Each map counts as points. And the way that winning skins works is your team would need to win 2-0. If it goes 1-1, then ultimately you're going to get your skins back. It's effectively nullified. So if you're wondering how your skins fare off, that's exactly how. But here we go. Oh, I'm saying here we go, but I don't think we're actually live just yet. Not sure what we're waiting for here, guys. Sensei, Copenhagen Wolves is going to win. Okay, dude. If you're confident, then all power to you. Which team do I like more? Mini Mafia, I try and stay as unbiased as I possibly can when casting. I honestly don't care who wins as long as it's a really good game. That's all I care about is 6 CSGO action. As long as that happens, it's all good as far as I'm concerned. I don't bet on these games. Guys, if you're wondering, I want to stay as neutral and as unbiased as I possibly can. But I think, ladies and gents, we're just about ready to jump live in the first game here of the evening in the GOCL Season 1 matchup between Copenhagen Wolves and HellRaisers. It's going to be a fast B push here from the team of Copenhagen Wolves, and they're going in hard on towards B. Kutcher gets the first frag, but there's SMF. They've taken the site by and large, Sicilian with 2 beautiful frags of his own with the Glock. And now it's down to a 3-on-2. Copenhagen Wolves should certainly pull off this round unless something crazy happens from Mao or Adren. Adren is the first player in, and he's the first player to fall. 3 frags for Asilian. Huge pistol round for him, and he's looking for his 4th. He's hungry to get his quad, and indeed he does. Awesome start from Copenhagen Wolves. That's going to give them a nice platform to build off from here. This is their map if you have just joined us. Justin, I cast and I stream on this. This is my personal stream. This is my first time streaming CSGO matches. Normally I just cast with somebody else streaming. So, fingers crossed all goes smoothly. With that being said, again, this looks like it's going to be a B push from Copenhagen Wolves. Of course, with the SMGs, that recent buff coming in. And that's going to be the first frag from Snappy. Very nicely done with the MAC-10. Hunden's laid in wait. He's going to be lurking, waiting for players to push him. He's spotted 2, throws the grenade in. It does do a fair amount of damage. And HellRaisers, also, I should mention, for sport here. They risked it. They rolled the dice. And they got Snake Eyes. They're now going to have to try and save their weapons. You can see all 4 of them actually pulling their way back towards T-spawn. Kutcher was trying to come round from the back, and he gets punished from Hunden's UMP. And Hunden's on the prowl for more frags here, and if he goes up towards drop down, he could very well do just that. Adren has spotted him out, that's going to be called, and did tag him a couple times, nothing too serious though. And this will be the 2-0. The question is, can HellRaisers pull a couple frags back? Yes, seems to be the answer. As the CZ roars on in, doesn't quite manage to get the second frag. I think he's going to be pretty sad about that one. Angel, unfortunately, unable to connect the dots. And it's going to be the 2-0. And remember, that was a force buy. They did manage to save a weapon and Kevlar on Mao, which is a bit of a saving grace, but HellRaisers are going to want to bounce back. Seeing a lot of HellRaisers there in chat. It's definitely backed up with the CSGO lounge betting, I'd say, and HLTV stats. A lot of people are expecting HellRaisers to win this matchup, me included. So far, though, Copenhagen Wolves have started very well. Mao gets the opening pick with that saved scout, however. And now Snappy walks on in with the MAC-10. And does claw a frag back for his side. But Copenhagen Wolves, ever so aggressive in the form of Snappy. He's trying to get as much info as possible. Let's have a quick look at how the CTs are faring here. Kutcher and Adren both stacking in toilets. Dozier's on A. Mao's around bank. B's completely open. Again rolling the dice, hoping for an A push, but that's not going to happen. Because it was that man Snappy who walked in first, got all the information, shouted out to the rest of his team. Dozier gets himself headshotted down from SMF. And again, Copenhagen Wolves should be able to get that bomb down. Snappy from the back. That's going to be the scout dropping form out. They will have enough funds, though, to buy up next round regardless, you have to feel. So it's a bit of a drop in the ocean. Adren would love to get himself a frag here. Just seeing it. Snappy's literally sprinting with the MAC-10. Unbelievable how crazy strong that weapon is now. There's actually a couple of videos up there on YouTube. I'd highly recommend you watch them. I think it's from War Owl. And he shows the spray pattern and how easy it is to control the MAC-10 now. It's unbelievable, as a lot of the SMGs are. But as I mentioned, HellRaisers aren't going to struggle too much to buy up. They've got a FAMAS. They're a bit bare in terms of grenades, but there's definitely enough weapons to work with. On the flip side, there is an open play from Copenhagen Wolves as a Molotov lands in the tunnel on top of Hunden, but he scampers his way across, just loses 1 HP in damage. No big deal as far as he's concerned. Just about getting caught there. Kutcher is desperate to get this frag. It's so close from his perspective, but clenchingly frustrating. And Angel goes in with the FAMAS. So first pick up here, first blood in this round. It's going to go into HellRaisers to make that the first 2. Both from that man, Kutcher from Connector. They got 2 players stacked in Connector. And Adren takes down Snappy. This is a very good round from HellRaisers. The perfect reply to that early 3-0 lead that Copenhagen Wolves threw out there. This round's not over just yet. 53 seconds left on the timer and an AWP in play. But this would be a hell of a round to clutch from Trails if he pulled this one off. And he is surrounded. He's got 1. But the bomb is down in Connector. He's pushed and finally Kutcher gets that frag. If Kutcher got killed there, I think he would have been a face planting. Because he really should have had that one comfortably. That would have been a painful blow from him. But HellRaisers do get their first round on the board. If you have just joined us, guys, it is the GOCL Season 1 matchup between HellRaisers and Copenhagen Wolves. And it's a best of 2 format. This is Copenhagen Wolves' choice of map. Inferno will be HellRaisers, which will be next. Whatever happens here, we'll be playing 2 maps today. As again, Angel in a similar position on short, trying to really make the most of this. And you can see that this time around Copenhagen Wolves are a bit more passive. They're a bit more docile. Not really showing their hand too much. You can see they've got this split once again with Snappy all by his lonesome. The rest of their team this time actually occupying towards long, which isn't really a tactic that we've seen too much thus far. It's typically been connector and B push, with maybe one player being a pain in the backside on long. But again, Snappy gets the opening frag, doing a really good job for his team. So far, the CTs haven't quite fallen for this. They've still got two players on the B side. Adren's now moving back. He's in that top upper area, peering down. As Kutcher still hiding on truck. 30 seconds to go. They are expecting the Blitzkrieg to come in any second now. Look at that though. 3 players from Copenhagen Wolves on a slither of health. One of which was Asilian. He gets dropped from the grenade. Here comes Adren as well. Spraying through the smoke. He doesn't connect it. And that could be the frag that turns this round in Copenhagen Wolves' favour. They now have themselves a player advantage with that bomb planted. This is precarious at best for HellRaisers. They need a quick pick here if they want to have any chance at closing this round out. Meanwhile, Snappy is going to be moving all the way back right now towards Bank. And he gets shut down from Dozia. SMF is going to return fire. It's a 2-on-2. Dozia is now pushing. He does get the frag. And it's all on trails. He's got the AWP. He's in long. Oh, and he gets the frag as well. So well played from him at the end. Copenhagen Wolves get a must-win round from their perspective. That was close. And it's these tiny, tiny advantages that cost teams so big. If Copenhagen Wolves lose that round, HellRaisers manage to buy up again. As it stands though, they have bought up, but they do not have good arson rate in their back pocket. 5-7 on Kutcher. Very, very bare bones in terms of grenades. Just a scout on Mao with a defuse kit. The only defuse kit on the CT side. Let's have a look how it's faring. Again, seeing 4 players lurking around long. And Playground Snappy doing the identical thing once again. Oh, of course it's Freeze, isn't it? Derp. Sorry, guys. This is the problem when players don't tag up as their proper name. Us as casters sometimes slip up. It's Freeze, of course. My apologies. Here we go. Hunden and Asilian going in together. Kutcher is there, laid in wait with the 5-7. It can do serious damage from this kind of range, but he's been found out. The gun has been seen poking round the corner. And Asilian will put him out of his misery. Kutcher goes down. They're going to call out, though, the information. Now Asilian's pushing for a second frag. Gets taken out from Angel, who's going to try and get his second. He does indeed get it. Back to a 3-on-2. A 2-on-2 now as Dozia from the truck. And again, rolled the dice onto A. And it did somewhat work out for them. But the problem is that Hunden's gone B with the bomb. And he's got that plant down. Hunden only on 6 HP. They have no grenades to speak of. So HellRaisers, once again, they're in a real sticky situation. Angel from upper, his teammate in lower. And they're going to try and push in together. Angel gets the first frag. The info will be called out right about now. And he's looking. Ooh, if that had connected, I would have been leaving the server. Because that would have been disgusting. And he's going for the defuse. But this is the problem I said before. There's no defuse kit. He gets the frag. This is going to be close. I don't think he has it, though. I think the bomb is going to explode. 4 seconds, he realizes, and he has to back on away. The bomb may still kill him, actually, and it does indeed do so. So close. But again, Copenhagen Wolves, by the skin of their teeth, pick up the round. That's 5 rounds already on T side. And this is still early days for this half as well. We're only about a quarter through this game. And Copenhagen Wolves will be looking at 7, 8, 9, hell, maybe even 10 rounds here on T side. Which would be a crippling blow from HellRaisers' perspective. Some style points from Asilian and Snappy there, jumping on his teammate's head. I don't think that was intentional. You can even see him look down. He's like, you what, mate? What the hell's going on here? Does he, though, with a beautiful shot to the forehand of Asilian, but they come back with frags of their own. There's Angel with the CZ. Unfortunately, for HellRaisers' perspective, going a man for man is not good enough in this exchange. They do end up going in a 2-on-1 situation as my camera's bugged. Thank you very much there, Valve. And now Adren is going to go in with the pistol. They line up for him. He very nearly gets both. But Freeze Locks him down. 6-1. Deary, deary me. Hey, I was saying I thought HellRaisers would take this 2-0. Egg is being well and truly smeared on my face right now. Here's a full buy up though from HellRaisers. They do have a few more grenades in their back pocket. The problem has been really, you know, the key word for me has been a struggle from HellRaisers. They've constantly had pretty poor eco. Copenhagen Wolves, they don't have fantastic economy themselves, but they've got rounds, and that's the important currency right now as far as they're concerned. Again, we're seeing a very similar tactic from the Wolves. And that stacking mid, sending Snappy towards B by his lonesome. Hunden knows there's a player here. It was Mao, who does get a pretty nice shot there in the end, and does definitely weaken him down. Kutcher gets one. He's going to get the second as well, but then Freeze from long with the AWP puts him out of his misery. 3-on-3. Bomb's been dropped here in long. Picked up by SMF. Camera, please. Blez. Adren knows something was a bit iffy on long. Does start going looking, but Freeze, Snappy, SMF all going through toilets. They're looking towards the site. Snappy coming from the rear right now. It looks like it's going to be an A-focused attack. 35 seconds. Plenty time to play with from Copenhagen Wolves. They could even bait this if they wanted to. But they're going to walk straight in. And this is all going to be on map number 4, which is Adren. He's came round the back, and he's biding his time. He's waiting for the opportune moment to strike. Freeze, there's no idea what's going on. There's one. There's two as well. Huge plays from Adren. Can he get the third? No, he gets shut down. But surely he's done enough to get HellRaisers back into this round and back into this map. Surely Snappy can't pull off this clutch. He's been tucked down, and that was all about Adren in toilets. I was going to say they've completely given up the B site, but it was for good reason. And those of you asking what happens if it goes to 1-1, as Bitbox Twitch says there, skins would be returned. It effectively be void as a match. So you would get your skins back. It has to be a 2-0 blowout for you to win skins. As far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure that's the case. So, for one of the first times HellRaisers managed to put their hand in the kitty and pull out plenty of grenades. Adren doesn't have any for himself, but there's plenty across the board. It's a Tech 9 force buy with the AK-47, courtesy of Snappy, and we all know what the Tech 9 is capable of, as Asilian proves the point onto Mao, who was caught with his pants down around his ankles in no man's land in Connector. And again, Copenhagen Wolves, they have the opening pick. How many times have I said that already today? And that really has been a huge determining factor as to why the scoreline is currently 6-2. They've constantly got these entry frags. Kutcher's now in a good position to strike. He opens up, gets one, unable to connect the dots and get any more than that. And now Asilian just strolls into B and gets his man. Snappy's in a good position. He sprays down one, but was so weak that Kutcher was able to seal the deal. Attempts a pop flash. No one's quite close just yet. The bomb's been dropped, though, and Kutcher, with that M4 and a Molotov, could potentially pull this off. You look at the HP of Copenhagen Wolves, they're going to have to push in together here, and Freeze only has a long-range weapon, I should say, with the AWP. He does, however, have a Tech 9, and here we go, SMF going in. They seem to have known that he's on short. They saw the end of the gun just sticking out. And 7-2, guys. Who would have thought this? I know some of you were very confident that Copenhagen Wolves would have overpass comfortably, but 7-2 on T side. Interesting. HellRaisers, what can you do? It looks like a desperation rush through mid is the answer to that question as far as they're concerned. Kutcher, Adren, Mao all going through towards toilets. Mao's now going to move into connector. But again, surprise, surprise, Copenhagen Wolves are exploiting this weakness as they see on long. Adren with the P2K is going to try and break the deadlock. Asilian does eat a few bullets for his troubles, but he's A-okay to keep in the fight for now. Dozzy is now also going to try and push through tunnels and maybe catch Snappy off guard, but Snappy's been on point thus far in this game. He's been very solid. Gets one, gets two as well. And now SMF in prime position to get himself a few frags. Probably should have done better from his perspective there, but he did get one. And that grenade has Kobe written all over it. There we go. Scores a three-pointer from downtown. And 8-2. Wowzers. HellRaisers, who recently have claimed the scalps of Virtus Pro, have claimed the scalps of pretty big teams like Property as well, were favourites coming into this game pretty heavily, find themselves in a really precarious position on overpass. Asilian goes in, gets another entry frag, this time on Mao. They did force the buy up with FAMASes, with an M4 as well. Angel without FAMASes doing work. Kutcher in a one-on-one exchange with Asilian. And there's Adren as well, so maybe they can claw this round back. Best case scenario at this point of the game is 7-8 half-time to HellRaiser. They'd have to win 5 back-to-back. And 7-8 half on CT side of overpass is still not fantastic by any stretch of the imagination. Dozier does tag up Hunden. It was a wall bang. And that's the reason it wasn't one shot, one kill. And surely he's going to be finished off from Adren. There we go. 3-8. Let's have a look at the economy. How's it faring for both teams? Well, Copenhagen Wolves are in pretty stable waters right now. They can easily buy back up again, even with an AWP on top of that. So, yeah, HellRaisers get themselves around back, but it's not fantastic. And if they were to lose this, and that round loss bonus has been flushed down the toilet, and they're up against it once again. So this is a real pressure cooker round for HellRaisers, one that they will be desperately wanting to win. And look at this right now from Copenhagen Wolves. They've pushed mid, they've pushed long over and over again. This time, they've got their sights heavily set on the B side. Kutcher again playing aggressive in toilets with Adren, getting as much info as they possibly can. But smokes are landing across the board. And they haven't given anything away. Like, normally Snappy would be the lurker, and he'd be going off on his own, like up here, or maybe he'd try through short. As Freeze does get the opening frag there onto Dozier, who's just peeking. He's done that a few times. He gets punished. What I was going to say there is that Snappy's often like the lurker, and the fact that he wasn't pushing up long or mid and giving any information away may have kept HellRaisers thinking that an A push was on the cards once again. So I do like this play from Copenhagen Wolves. You can see Kutcher still thinks this could definitely be an A push. He's smoking out main there to stop them from pushing in. They are pretty much certain that this A push is very, very possible. With 30 seconds to go, that is not going to be the case. Angel and Adren are all that stands in the way. And here we go. Action is about to kick off. 25 seconds left on the board. And they have to go for broke. Angel gets one. He gets himself the second. In fact, that was Adren. But there comes the second frag. He wants a third. Kutcher will get him down, though. And now it's all on Freeze. And that is another Kobe from Mao. And that will be a pretty comfortable round there in the end for HellRaisers. I feel like maybe Copenhagen Wolves waited a bit too long to pull the trigger on that strat. Pushing it at 25 seconds, maybe not the greatest of things. Although I do have to give huge props there to Angel and Adren for locking down B. So, Copenhagen Wolves now find themselves in a bit of a sticky situation, economically speaking. They can definitely force a buy if they wanted to. They've got 8 rounds, so I mean, they're already in a pretty comfortable position, but there's no point forcing it here. They know if they save here, or if at least they just upgrade their pistols, they're going to have more than enough funds to go for a full buy next round and potentially get the 10-5 scoreline, as I mentioned previously, which would be just fantastic as far as they're concerned. Kutcher in toilets once again, surprise, surprise. He's always been here, and he does get himself a quick double spray down. SMF can be pushing with a Tech 9 in again. You're seeing the power of that weapon at close to medium range. Adren gets the upper hand onto Hunden. And this should be an eco bash from this point on. Freeze with the Tech 9 is going tat for tat on Mao and gets the kill as well. Oh dear. That just happened. He did have an AWP, which will be picked up, but still, I think Mao's going to be a bit disappointed at that outcome. Envious wins, I think. Not in this game, they don't. You may be talking about a game coming up this evening. I just realised that. Herped up, Vince. Herped up. Anyway, 5-8. Let's focus on the game at hand. Again, Copenhagen Wolves going to be going for this B push and don't seem to care a great deal about this smoke. They're going to be going through. Dozier with the AK-47. Angel from short this time gets the first frag. He's going to quickly rotate and try and help out the rest of his teammates, but he's been caught there from SMF in a horrific position. And B is completely split open. Molotov lands, but it's not going to do anywhere near enough to Hunden to stop him getting his bomb planted. And yeah, it's a 3-on-3, but if Asilian gets this kill, you fancy them to pick this round up as well. Take it 9-5. There's Hunden from water. Finally gets his man. Made a bit of a dog's dinner out of that one. But better late than never. And now Mao, in a 1v3, he's got the AWP. He's a solid player. I just don't feel he's got any hope of picking this round up, and yet he seems to be agreeing. He's going to go ahead and pull himself back there, keep the AWP alive for the next round, which will be the final round of the half. And Copenhagen Wolves, they're on the brink of something special here, and Mao doesn't even get to save that AWP. That's pretty significant. Because you look at their economy, Kutch is only on 3.4k. So he has to go for a FAMAS. If Mao saves that AWP, that's pretty much going to be an M4 and full grenades. Look at that, 2 players on... Well, Kutch has got 0 grenades. Adren's only got a smoke. You've got a decoy and a flashbang on Mao. So that saved $4,750 it would have been if he takes that AWP home. Would have been huge for his team. Economy is so important in this game. But Kutch playing aggressive, this time going to connector. He's mainly been the guy in toilet, so he does catch them off guard there. Hunden from balloons alongside Asilian are going to break the deadlock and gets another kill as well onto Kutch. A nice headshot. And Dozier now must be scratching his head, wondering what the hell just happened to his teammates. Everybody fell down in the blink of an eye. And it really is Dozier or bust to try and save Copenhagen Wolves from getting 10-5. He's picked up 2 frags. That's huge. HellRaisers need a hero, and maybe this is Dozier's moment to strike. Did he see the bomb get dropped there? I'm not too sure. He's running towards B, which is a real interesting one. I don't think he did see the bomb drop, you know. It dropped behind the wall. But then again, he was in a sticky situation. He's in a 3v1. He must realise that there's a good chance he'd have been surrounded. So get those 2 picks and then rotate round and then take it into a one-on-one. He must know that Freeze, who has been the AWPer consistently for Copenhagen Wolves, of course, he is their AWP player mainly, would have that in his hands. And they're going to come head-to-head. You fancy Dozier to pick it up. And he does. That's a huge 1v3 clutch. And maybe that is the moment when HellRaisers start to claw this game back. They're still up against it. Make no mistake. 9-6 for T's on overpass is not great from HellRaisers' perspective. But maybe that round just gave them a tiny bit of hope there. A bit of light at the end of the tunnel. And no kit as well. That's going to be a denting blow. And those kind of plays... I mean, Dozier, 8 for 10 there. Before that 1v3, he was 5 and 10. 5 and 10, that's not a fantastic half. And it's those kind of huge plays that can really get that adrenaline pumping through your veins. It can really motivate the rest of your team to up their game and do something special. So maybe that was the moment where Dozier rallied the troops. And if they were to win this pistol round, anything is possible. This is a pretty big round for HellRaisers right now. Copenhagen Wolves. Let's see how they're setting up. Freeze has a quick peek and he does get headshotted down from Mao. And the Glock train is in effect. Asilian does get a nice headshot though with the USP. Adren walks straight into his crosshairs. As Sunfit says, I agree with you, dude. HellRaisers are pretty strong on T side, so you definitely can't count them out yet. Kutch does get a nice headshot. And SMF is one of the last lines of defense here for CT's Copenhagen Wolves. He's forced to back himself away into the corner. The B site has been planted on. It's a nice shot from Hunden, exchanging frags with Mao. A 2-on-3. You've got to feel this next frag is going to be crucial. If Copenhagen Wolves pick it up, they've got every chance of clutching this round, and they have done just that. SMF rips on through with the headshot, but there's Angel to pick himself up too in return. That is the pistol round that HellRaisers desperately required. And they have managed to pick it up for themselves. Copenhagen Wolves going to take a leaf out of the book of HellRaisers. Jesus. Now that, ladies and gents, is a triple scout buy. Alrighty then. Let's see how this pays off. Well, there's going to be 2 grenades flying into mid. Somehow Freeze only takes 19 HP of damage. I was thinking he'd be dropped to like 20 there. They look dead on. And there's the first scout kill. So there's me thinking 3 scouts. That's an interesting pickup, but hey. They've put bullets to chests, and they do put themselves a player to the good. Wow, that's a beautiful knife, by the way. I've got a comment on that as Kutch pushes in with the P90, Dozier as well. And Kutcher, long range, once again with the SMG. That is going to be a reoccurring theme, ladies and gents, after the buffs that the SMG's picked up. Dazia with the MAC-10. We saw this from Snappy on the first half. And now it is all on that man, Snappy. And he's been spotted, and he doesn't get killed there. I thought Mal had that in the bag. He finally takes it down with the USP. Switches across. Back to an 8-on-9 scoreline. And Copenhagen Wolves will be forced to save this round. Maybe a couple of upgraded pistols will come in effect and try and get a cheeky headshot here or there. But by and large, you're expecting to see HellRaisers just roar on through here and take the site once again. Let's have a look where they're pushing. Well, they're actually opting for a pretty slow, steady round here, which does make a lot of sense. Typically, if you know a team is on full pistols, they may try and just stack rush somewhere. So hiding back and trying to get the upper hand is actually a pretty viable tactic, and so far it's working for them. They picked up 2, Freeze and the Cillian. Both been 6 foot under. Been put 6 foot under, I should say. Angel's going to get another opportunity here onto Snappy. That was full flashed as well. Nicely done by him. Hunden and SMF all that remain. And Hunden's on B. SMF still chilling around A. Hunden's been spotted and does get taken out courtesy of Dozia's AK-47. B will be planted on very soon. And then SMF is going to have it all to do. There's no point in trying to save with that pistol. And Dozia gets the kill. And that was a pretty straightforward round for HellRaisers. It's definitely going to steady their nerves. You know, going into half-time at 9-6 down. Not the greatest of feelings, but after winning that pistol round, they've done the hard work. Or I should say they did the easy work, and now they have the hard work to do. It's 9-9 for Mass. AWP 3 M4s on the side of Copenhagen Wolves. For HellRaisers, going to be an AWP and 4 AKs. Angel going to be playing that snappy role towards tunnels on B while the rest of his team tries to push their way around through playground. You can see 2 players here actually, one of which was Freeze going into long. And Freeze with a quick pick does get rewarded for his efforts, and Adren is a pretty key member of their team right now. So that's gonna hurt them a tiny bit. You can see their Kutcher's 20 and 15. Angel 17 and 9. It's very even on the scores alongside the overall team scores as well, you have to say here for both teams. Everyone really pulling their weight. Slow, tense round. Mao jumps up. Asilian seems to have heard that one. He knows what's happening. He's seen the barrel of the gun, and he will pick up that frag onto Mao. Easy peasy. Nice shot from Freeze. Gets his second of the round. And now it's all onto Dozia and Angel as well. Angel chilling in short. Dozia now moving around. 30 seconds to go. It would be a 2-on-2 if they were to push this very aggressively. It's not impossible, but the cavalry will surely charge on in afterwards. Here we go. Snappy gets the frag down onto Dozia. That's pretty much going to seal the deal and seal the fate for HellRaisers. And I don't think they lost a single HP of damage there in that round, unless I'm mistaken. They were all around 100% hit points at the end of that, so a very comfortable round for Copenhagen Wolves. Some people asking in chat which map this was, which team picked this map. It was Copenhagen Wolves. Inferno's the next map. That was HellRaisers' choice. Just to give you a bit of background here. Currently, HellRaisers are bottom of the league in the GOCL Season 1 table. But they have been performing very well recently. Some big results against the likes of Virtus Pro. Try to say trails 10 times, please. Dude, I know that my pronunciation sucks when it comes to like Danish and things like that, so I won't butcher your language for you. SMF has broke the deadlock. There is Freeze as well. And this was the issue that they actually had on the other side as well, where it just seemed that Copenhagen Wolves were constantly getting the opening picks. It really did hurt HellRaisers, really wounded them deeply. You see Dozia, he spotted the player on top, but he was so slow to react because he was checking every single nook, every single cranny. It was the last place he checked that ended up killing him. And Ren does get a nice headshot onto Freeze. Is the up momentarily dropped, but Hunden from the side, full flash up onto Adren, couldn't do anything with the bomb. He's got 23 seconds. He may think about trying to save this one actually, but he has a player in the form of Snappy coming round from the back, and Snappy takes him out. I couldn't see who actually said that, but they've beat Virtus Pro and Team Property recently, which is why I'm saying they've been performing pretty nice. I don't think many people would have gave HellRaisers a chance to beat Virtus Pro. So that's what I'm kind of basing that off. They've been pretty good, honestly. HellRaisers, they're typically a team that I find are really inconsistent, actually similar with Copenhagen Wolves. They're a very streaky team. They'll have like a week where they'll perform actually pretty damn well, and the next week they'll be fairly bad. So it really is a case of which teams are going to show up this evening. And so far it's been very difficult to tell between the two of them. That being said, here comes Kutcher with a Tech 9. He sees one, sees Freeze as well, who just jumps around that corner. Hunden will step up and prove to be a huge linchpin for his team. The cavalry has well and truly arrived. Hunden gets himself 2 and a third as well with a P2K. But here we go. Angel's not done just yet. He runs in with a Tech 9. He's been spotted. Somehow survives. He's got the scout very nearly connected as well. It's actually an AWP, not the scout. Anyway, he's got the Tech 9 in his hands. And he's chasing down Snappy. And he's got the kill to Snappy as well. And again, HellRaisers, by the skin of their teeth, pull back around that look destined to fail. Dozier on the first half. Now Angel steps up to the plate. Unbelievable. And these are the rounds that can truly change a game. And that's 2 that Copenhagen Wolves really should have won. And I do wonder how that's going to affect them going forward with their mentality. Asilian seems to have dusted off the cobwebs, and he takes Dozier down. It's a nice pop flash beforehand, actually. Dozier was completely flashed out. Snowstorm descended upon him. And again, with that opening pick, Copenhagen Wolves should be able to steady the ship here. I say that, but last round they got an opening pick, and then Angel just went massive. Turned into Hercules, and just steamrolled out over everybody. Minute to play. Looks like this is going to be a B push more than likely, judging from the position of the bomb carrier, which is Kutcher. Angel as well, moving around from short. He seems to like this position a lot, actually, on CT and T side. It's like his home, almost. And there's only 2 players locking this one off. It's Snappy and SMF. If they can get a pick here on towards B, this should be a free site for them. Op going in first, 35 seconds to play with. Molly's been put down there to try and halt a potential push in its tracks. Now 30 seconds. They are going to be pushing this one in. Adren gets 1, but there is SMF. He lights them up and knocks 2 down. 1 in that third frag, but was unable to get it. So they go blow for blow. 20 seconds on the timer. Hunden comes in. And now it's all on Kutcher. 15 seconds. He's got that bomb planted. He's been tagged heavily, though, from the AWP, and Freeze secures it on the second time of asking. It's one of those kind of rounds where you got to go big or go home from HellRaisers' perspective. If they get a pick there for free, or without any retaliation from Copenhagen Wolves, and it goes back into a 3-on-3, you fancy their chances to actually win that round. But SMF stood tall and locked down tunnels with the M4. And that was the determining factor as far as I'm concerned. HellRaisers now, they have managed to rack together a few weapons, but they've got no smokes on Adren or Kutcher, and only a Tech 9 on Dozier. Far from ideal from their perspective, but they have won 2 eco rounds that they look dead and buried in, so you can never quite write them off. HellRaisers pushing in. Smoke lands in their face, just denies them. Angel, though, once again with the opening pick, and he could get a second. He does indeed. SMF spins around. If he connected on the third play, that would have been unbelievable play from him. Grenade lands straight on top of Adren. There's a lot of damage there. I think that was 62 or thereabouts damage to him. But it's a 4-on-2. And even with the lack of smokes and weapon on Dozier, they have managed to once again push in and get this bomb planted on. Freeze and Asilian, the 2 remaining Danes here. A lot of work for them to do. Asilian's going to be pushing around here, looking towards the water area. There is a Tech 9 being sprayed up from Dozier. Kutcher at the back hand side. And HellRaisers realise that the Round is all but done. And they're going to be pulling themselves back. I'm going to take a quick drink, guys, so just bear with me for a few seconds here. Hope you're enjoying the stream. I'm very open to feedback. It's my first time streaming. I've casted a whole lot of CS, but I just got a new graphics card recently. So if you're enjoying the stream, or if you have any constructive criticism, feel free to throw it out there. You can hit me up on Twitter. That's @MetisTV. I'll be very happy to hear all your feedback. Either way, let's get back into the action. 11-12. 2 for masses. No grenades on Snappy. No grenades. I was going to say on a Celine, but he actually has a smoke and a flashbang. Freeze. The pig does get the kill again. Look at how aggressive he's playing. Up into balloons already. And you can tell that Kutcher had no idea what was about to hit him there. Absolutely none. And it's not the first time that Freeze has done that. And look at that. He's so unpredictable. Angel was like, yeah, cool, I'm going to walk through. Oh, wait, I'm dead. Well, rip. Now Freeze going back into a more predictable position. But the damage has already been done. He's got the opening 2 picks. And that's really what you want from your AWP. That is job done. And now it's a case of Copenhagen Wolves. They can just, you know, sit back in their recliner chair and just chill out. They can just chill out completely. They realise that the pressure, the onus is on HellRaisers to push in. They've got 35 seconds. At the end of the day, the T's have to plant, the CTs have to defend. It is that simple. Copenhagen Wolves from this position, you fancy to win every day of the week. Freeze looking for that 3rd frag. Watch another one on his belt, and indeed he does just that. 20 seconds. It's going to be a B push though here from Adrent, who's going in, taking point. His teammate of Mao is still alive, but they have to be careful from SMF. He's lurking. He's biding his time. The bomb's going down. SMF's about to push Adrent, who has no cover there. And Mao is the final player to fall. I can't really blame Mao too much there. You're in a 2 versus 4. You can't afford to peek too much because you're very aware that Freeze is around that area. I believe Freeze actually finished with 4 frags in that round. Let's have a quick look at the scoreboard, let you guys know who's performing. Freeze 21, Asilian 20, and then on the flip side, Angel and Kutcher both on 22. So a bunch of players really playing their heart out here. Mao's on 7 for 19. He is underperforming compared to the rest of the server, I think it's fair to say. And HellRaisers desperately going to need him to step up a couple gears if they want to cling on to this map and potentially take it into Inferno 1-0 up for themselves. It would be a bit of a mountain to climb here. I wouldn't say Everest just yet, but it's certainly going to be difficult. Let's have a look at how the T's are faring. Angel connector, Kutcher and Adren looking to push through long, but they have to be careful. Asilian is there. And he is waiting for this push. And we've seen him in this position a couple times actually, waiting for this jump, waiting for this boost. And he could very well get 2 frags. No, Kutcher gets the headshot. I believe he did get the dink off beforehand, but Kutcher gets a second as well. Unbelievable play. With 9 HP remaining. And again, just when you think that HellRaisers are maybe starting to circle the drain with a life support isn't quite keeping them alive, they somehow dig in deep. And they come back swinging once again. 20 seconds. And the bomb has just been planted from Dozier. Here comes SMF. If he can get a couple picks here, they've got every chance of pulling this round back. Throws out the molly, but he's been Tech 9 down from Angel. Snappy with a FAMAS. Gets 1, gets 2 as well. And now it's back onto a 2-on-2. The bomb's been planted. Snappy can't push through this molly just yet, but it has cleared up. That could give him the green light to try and pull off something special. Hunden's picked up the AWP. HellRaisers can afford to just sit in and wait right now. Grenades thrown in. And Copenhagen Wolves realise, no, we can't quite pull this one off. Let's save this up. Let's save this AK for the next round. 13-12, going right down to the wire. Guys, try not to be... I nearly said something that would have got me in trouble. Try not to be, let's just say, douchebags. I think that's a fairly okay thing to say and spoil for the people that are watching right now. That really sucks, guys. Don't do that. You're ruining the enjoyment of people that just want to watch and enjoy the game for what it is. So please don't. You will get banned from the mod, so it's not worth doing. I'm just going to warn you right now. Either way, let's go back into the game as again Freeze in a different position. He's been balloons, he's been toilets, this time he's peeking long. And Kutcher is the man, once again, that's been caught. He must be hating his life right about now. Angel through short. Snappy is going to get the upper hand, definitely. And HellRaisers, it really is like two heavyweight boxers just exchanging blows. Just throwing hooks, uppercuts, the whole 9 yards at one another. It's going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. HellRaisers constantly against the ropes. Dozia and Mao both get themselves a frag. I'm really surprised that Hunden chased that. I realised the red mist may have descended and he wanted the frag onto Dozia, but all he did there is play himself out of position and give HellRaisers another chance to claw around back they really shouldn't have won. If Hunden play smart there, I feel like Copenhagen Wolves easily take this round. 30 seconds though, still a lot of work for HellRaisers to do if they want to pick up this 26th round. Adren is going to get caught, but what a headshot onto SMF through the wall. Just spun around to his left-hand side and obliterates him. And Freeze misses the shot there. It would have been a pretty impressive one to land from his perspective. He's now going to be spraying through and trying to spam that headshot through with the AWP. But the bomb's been planted. And HellRaisers, they're going to be feeling pretty good right now. I don't feel they should have won this round. It's not over just yet, but it's looking like Copenhagen Wolves may have let another round slip through their fingers, especially now that Adren has spotted out Snappy. Maybe a bit premature there with the spray. Freeze does get a frag. That's a nice kill from Dozia. Looking for the second one. I'm not too sure why he'd peeked that, honestly. They have won the round. But that could have been another AK in the hands of HellRaisers. As they check Twitch and just back everywhere. That was a pretty sick spinning headshot through the wall there, I've got to say. Take a bow. 13-13. And again, I don't like to rag on players too much, but that one play from Hunden where he went searching, he chased after that frag, really could come back to bite them. You look at their economy now, it's not horrifically bad, but again, there's just the 157. 2 FAMASs, M4 and an AWP. 5 AKs on the side of HellRaisers. And Adren is going in. He's not waiting for anybody, and he does get the opening frag, and that's going to open up B nicely. Angel now through connector. There is a Cillian there. A Cillian turns round at the wrong possible time. The worst possible time, I should say, and he does get punished for that. It's very unfortunate from his perspective. Snappy on short. He is playing the waiting game. Opens up with a 5-7. Very nicely done by him. He's got the second as well, and very nearly the third, but he's weakened Dozia so low that one bullet will pretty much finish him off. And again, this game goes on to a 2-on-2. Adren will take SMF by surprise. 55 seconds to play with. Freeze with the AWP, no grenades, no HE I should say, and he's been tagged up heavily. All 3 players are 20 HP or below. And it is the handicap match of Freeze versus Dozia and Adren. Flashbang up. This would be a very difficult round for Freeze to pull out because he's only got the AWP. And HellRaisers know this. They know all they have to do is stay close range to the bomb and not peek. And they've got this round in the bag. And Freeze knows it too. He backs away to long. And HellRaisers take their 14th round. Are really stepping up big when it counts here. Swift. I didn't quite see the second part of your name. Sorry about that. This is Copenhagen Wolves' choice of map. Swift Sidious, I think it was. And the next map will be Inferno. Hope that helps. And now you look at that. That was a force buy. From the side of Copenhagen Wolves. And now they find themselves in a real precarious position. Kind of unsure as to what to do. They're going to upgrade pistols. CZ, couple 5.7s. They've still got the open play, of course, from Freeze. And they need him to go huge. And Mao is just sat there. He plants his feet on the ground, waiting. And there is also the headshot from Kutcher. He gets himself a second. No, actually, that was Dozzy that came in and sealed the deal. But there is Hunden from upper with 2 frags with a 5.7. I thought for a second he'd just given Copenhagen Wolves another chance to pull out something special, but instead it's a 3-on-1. Cillian has upgraded his pistol there from the corpse of his fallen comrade with the 5.7, but he's got an AWP, he's got 2 AKs to play off against. Lots of grenades as well on the side. And that's going to be a frag to Adren. And Copenhagen Wolves. Man, oh man, oh man. At half time, I thought they had this in the bag, but HellRaisers T side. As I said before, it's very, very solid. and they've pulled out some huge rounds. But I would also like to say that Copenhagen Wolves have made some huge mistakes. I think it's fair to say that. They've made some big blunders that have cost them big. That's no hate, I've just got to state what I see. That's taken nothing away from HellRaisers, though. They have pulled out some incredible clutches. We've seen a 3-on-1 clutch from Dozia. We've seen a clutch as well with a Tech 9 from Angel. Big rounds when it counts. But Copenhagen Wolves now do have themselves full weapons. A bit shy on grenades, but they have enough grenades to work with here, you've got to feel. Are they going to get the opening pick once again in this game? Is there another chapter to be written by the Danes? See both teams not wanting to give anything away. Let's have a look at how they're shaping up. SMF, they've got a boost as well from Snappy on B. Freeze and Asilian on long. I think Kutcher did just see Asilian now as he jumped up. That's going to give them a bit of information. 40 seconds. We've seen HellRaisers do this a couple of times at Freeze. Misses an AWP shot that I fancy he would have landed previously in this. He does get a beautiful shot there onto Angel. He was peeking. Asilian does connect the dots into long. And now he's looking. He's going to look to murder the next player, and that is Mao. Big round from Asilian and Freeze. A holding firm for now. First casualty on the side of Copenhagen Wolves is going to be that man Asilian. He was heavy tagged, getting that couple kills. There's Freeze. Gets the tag on towards Dozia. Finishes him off with a no-scope. Through the wall. Style points for him. Now Copenhagen Wolves, they pull themselves back. Surprise, surprise. And it's going to come down to the 30th round. Oh boy. And the economy from HellRaisers, it is not the greatest you've seen. They are going to manage to rack together 4 AKs on the Tech 9, but there's no grenades onto Kutcher. There's only a decoy on Mao, nothing on Dozia. Adren's got himself quite a bit of money. I think he did about 5.8k at the start of this round, so he comfortably bought up. And dropped as well, I believe. Either way, here we go. There's a quick push onto the B site here right now. Hunter's going to try and retake this one. He opens up, and it's going to be Copenhagen Wolves who are coming out better in this exchange. There's Mal, though, trying to buy his team enough time to get that bomb planted. But look at how quickly the CTs are rotating into position. The bomb's been planted right now from Dozia. Any second now. There we go. And it's the first box ticked from HellRaisers' perspective. But now they're going to have to dig themselves into a foxhole and just wait. Oh, they will line up for Mao. He gets 2. He actually gets the third one. No, Dozia comes in and gets the third, and that's a 1-on-1. SMF only has 21 HP to his name. He's going for the full defuse, and he's going to get it as well. He gets the full defuse. Adren thought it was going to be a fake. I cannot believe it. And it's gone to a 15-15 scoreline. Can you actually believe this? The cheek of SMF. He has balls of steel to pull that off. Unbelievable. I honestly nearly fell off my chair there. I'm not even baiting you. Holy crap. That just happened. Pros don't fake. SMF. I bet Adren is kicking the door right now. I bet he is done with life. He went straight for the defuse. That's got to sting. That has got to sting. What a first game for you guys here. HellRaisers and Copenhagen Wolves, they have delivered in spades. This has been a fantastic game to watch. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. You can see there the scores. Freeze top fragging with 27. Did serious work on 8 with the AWP. Well, I got loads more games to cast this evening, guys, and I hope my voice can take it if all of them are as good as this is. What a way to start things off. So here we go, overtime. There's going to be 10 rounds of overtime here. Of course, Copenhagen Wolves occupying CT side again. HellRaisers are going to be trying to break the deadlock here on T side. Again, almost an identical start to what we've seen from HellRaisers on T's. Angel going by his lonesome. Dozia Has spotted a couple players off here towards A. He's going to throw that grenade in. It's going to do a lot of damage to Freeze. Very nearly takes him down. 23 HP left on him. Pushing through with a flashbang. But Asilian read the script. And he was laid there and wait. That's a big frag as well to get onto Dozier. Hunden through the smoke onto Angel. Just preemptively shooting through as Asilian was dropped. Almost cut the atmosphere with a knife right now. Both teams not wanting to give anything away. Smoking down into long, 30 seconds on the timer. Kutcher taking point for his team. And they're hoping that he can channel his inner Rambo and just go massive. Here we go. He's going to go in. Gets the first kill. Gets the second as well. Awesome stuff from him. It's a 2-on-2. The bomb's going to get planted. From Adren, nothing will stop him right now. And Snappy and SMF, the SNS combo, both coming up from CT spawn side through lower. Adren's just going to chill out in toilets. This is a pretty smart play from him. SMF and Snappy just trying to get as much real estate as possible. And Kutcher completely caught out of position. And this is put, I've got to say, it's put Adren in a horrible position. He gets caught with a flashbang out. I don't want to badmouth Kutcher, but interesting. Interesting choice. I'm not sure I agree with that. He did get punished. 16-15. Of course, with it being overtime, there's plenty of funds to go ahead and buy back up again. HellRaisers. We've seen them make some really big mistakes, but then bounce back. They're such a resilient bunch of players. They've been here, done that multiple times. They are veterans of the game. I did just catch a glimpse there of Freeze, who was boosted up, trying to peer down long. With that warp in his hands. Look at this from SMF. This is such ballsy play. You've already seen this guy has got cojones the size of melons. And he's going in again, and he gets the kill. No, oh my goodness. I thought he derped that. I was actually about to jump out my window for him. That was... wow. 1 HP. He should have had that comfortably. But regardless, he does get the frag. And those melons definitely pay off. Here we go, Asilian's been in this position time and time again, but again he's going to get the upper hand onto players. And two, in fact, is Kutcher and Mao. He loves this position, but the problem is from HellRaisers, I understand why they're being caught out from this, because they have to be so weary of Freeze peeking up long with that AWP. He's been such a man mounted with that weapon. So it really does keep HellRaisers guessing. So if maths serves me correctly, and by the way, maths is not my strong suit, it's the first 21 wins, right? This map. I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. Maths is, yeah, I'm a bit special when it comes to maths, not going to lie. But either way, Copenhagen Wolves have started off in a very strong way here on CT. First 2 rounds in overtime have gone their way. HellRaisers. Can you bounce back? Let's have a quick look up on the map here. Well, this time I actually have 2 players going towards B. And it looks like they're going to be trying to maybe fake through short from Angel and then go towards A. But no, actually Adren's going to be coming round. And it looks like it's going to be a B with 52 seconds to go. Yep, it's definitely going to be a B. Adren with the bomb is being backed up from Kutcher. Snappy, SMF, Hunden, all waiting on B. And here we go. The explosions are about to start. Start your engine. Snappy, though. It's going to actually silence them completely, and Hunden from the side just opens up onto Angel. And these smokes have been perfect, by the way. I've got to say, from the CTs, they have put so much emphasis on blocking out the vision and forcing HellRaisers to put themselves in a position they don't want to be in. And that has translated very comfortably in the end. I was about to say on a 4-on-1, but Kutcher does get the exit frag there onto Freeze, but that's all it's going to be. It will be 18-15 now to Copenhagen Wolves.
Counter-terrorists win.
And the economy, it's still good enough to buy. Because obviously we're on overtime, but HellRaisers... Man, I'm not too sure what to say right now, guys. I'm kind of at a loss for words, because Copenhagen Wolves in normal time, their CT side was really suspect. But as soon as overtime started, they've been pretty solid, honestly. If they played like this in normal time, it would have been over much earlier. Maybe they've just worked out the tactics that HellRaisers were pushing in, and again freeze in different position. This time through toilets, going up towards balloons, gets that opening pick. And HellRaisers, they need someone to channel their inner god right now and get another one of these clutches in effect. Seems that things have definitely started to go off the boiler as far as HellRaisers are concerned. Copenhagen Wolves, you can almost see they're having a lot more confidence now. They're peaking positions. They're trying to get information. They're freeing up Freeze to just pretty much go ham wherever he pleases with the AWP. He must be top fragging here. 29 and 18, but look at that. Everybody on Copenhagen Wolves on 20 frags or more. Whereas Mao's still on 14 for 26. Oh, yeah, I derped. Sorry. I turned X-ray off by accident. My bad. Thanks for letting me know, chat. I think I tried to press C for my map and press X instead. So, yeah, you can slap my wrist for me. Either way, it should be back on for you guys. 20 seconds to go. And again, HellRaisers have left themselves no time to really push on in here. It would be a miracle for them to get this. Sicilian and Freeze both going to be chiming together, getting frags. There's Mao and Sicilian again. Angel has got one. He is the clutch king. Or has been in this game, but 1v4 with 10 seconds to go? Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So, I would say this is a must-win round for HellRaisers. I think it's safe to say that if HellRaisers don't win this round, it's pretty much over for this map. Because remember that Copenhagen Wolves 9-6 on T side. So HellRaisers CT side was nothing too fantastic. Now, it is a good push from Angel. He does get one, but that's all it's going to be as far as he's playing a part in this round. And again, Copenhagen Wolves, they're just lining up the T's. They seem like they're out of ideas. They're going for another B once again. And SMF has definitely been shifting through the gears for his team. He does get taken out here, but he has the information. Hunden has been spotted out, but there's the flashbang. Kutcher is not long for this world. All 5 rounds of that half go to Copenhagen Wolves. And all they have to do is win 1 round of the next 5. Take a quick drink. Alright, so HellRaisers, what have you got for us? Do you have anything up your sleeve here? Are we going to start to see you guys chime together as we saw in that overtime, that first half side, I should say? Seem to have gone off kilter a tiny bit here. They do try and push aggressively, get some information down. Again, HellRaisers are going to be using this boost. Let's have a look how it's faring. Again, this is identical to what we saw Copenhagen Wolves do time and time again on their T side. It's snappy, will consistently be in this area. He may push towards connect, he may go short or actually just through B. And he tries to get all this information while the rest of his team goes up long, goes up through tunnels onto A. And typically this worked. This worked pretty much every single time that we saw them do this on T side. It worked. But have HellRaisers suss this one out? Are they going to fill in the gaps? So far so good for them. Every second that ticks down is more pressure on the side of Copenhagen Wolves. And it's a nice shot from Mao. He was flashed up in the process of landing that one. Now 33 seconds. Here comes the smokes. Here comes the flashbangs. Here comes the inevitable push as well. And the Molotovs on towards Bank. Flashbang from SMF. No, he decides against it. He's going to be pushing on in. Looking to try and spray through that smoke, but it's Kutcher that comes out the better of that exchange, and now Astilion's going to try and line them up and spray them down. He gets 2 before being dropped, courtesy of Kutcher. And now it's that man, it's the lurker himself, Snappy, that has so much work to do. He does get a few tags. That's all it's going to be. There's no frags in that exchange. The bomb is being defused and Snappy gets put down. HellRaisers have salvaged that first round here. But they're going to have to go 4 rounds better. 4 rounds back to back just to take us to overtime number 2. See you later, Epic Nerd. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Anyway. Back into the action. Again, very similar setup. There's not much to say about this, really. Not much to analyse about it. It's just a game of cat and mouse for these first 50 to 60 seconds or so. And Mao this time is trying to channel his inner freeze on CT side from long. Does get that opening pick, but also the information. He saw another player. And I think it's fair to say that he's going to be calling to the rest of his team that Long and Toilets is the play. However, there is lots of time for Copenhagen Wolves to make a couple of rotates here. They could even rotate B back to A again. There's lots and lots of time for them. HellRaisers stacking again. Kutcher and Adren there. Adren peeks and he gets taken out. Very confused at that peak. Kutcher, though, is going to try and clean up for his fallen teammate. Heavily tags up Freeze. Here comes Hunden. There is no cover for Kutcher. He's probably going to be questioning the rest of his team. Mao now with the AWP. Are you ever going to take this shot? Yes, he does finally take the shot. And then 5-7. Very nicely done by him in the end. He's got that back in his hands again. The bomb has been planted, but it's a 3-on-1 for Snappy. That is a beautiful headshot. First off, gets a second kill as well. But there is strength in numbers. And Angel will just about clutch this round out for HellRaisers. They've got the second round on the board. 3 more to go. Radia, sorry dude. Unfortunately my PC's not very good. It's not like top level, so if I put it up to 60 FPS my PC will explode. That's the reason why I tried. I really did try. Hopefully it's watchable though. It's not too bad. I will look into that in the future and try and upgrade my PC. Either way, Mao again is going to break the deadlock. Gets 2 quick fire frags. Very nicely done, and a third as well. Again, HellRaisers. They are refusing to go down without a fight. They are just refusing. Straight up. Some of you guys saying it seems fine. That's awesome. As long as it's watchable, guys. As long as you're enjoying it, it's all good. I do apologise I can't get the top quality, but I will need to invest more in the stream. So, well, my PC, I should say. Grenade through into connector. Kutcher gets a quick double. No, it's actually Adren that chimed in with the second kill there. But these two are inseparable. They're constantly moving around together, and it's working for them. It's like this tag team of death and destruction between the two of them. Freeze gets 1, gets a second as well. Probably had no right to do that, but he's still in a 1v3, and there is Mao. Mao has really came alive in these last few rounds. You know, I called him out. He was bottom fragging by a country mile. But now look at this. He's up to 23. Last time I checked, I think he was 16 for 24. Now 23 for 30. He is starting to come alive. Oh boy. 19-20. HellRaisers poised to take us into second overtime. And have they changed the map on us? No, it just lagged. I got worried there. I'm not going to lie. I got worried. Because this has happened before in the past where a team will just switch the map if they lose. It's really frustrating. Either way, we are still in the map, thank God. On the edge of my seat. I'm not going to lie. I got a bit worried there. Hunden, 47 HP. Same tactic again. And HellRaisers, in fairness to them, credit to these guys. They have been holding fast on CT side. It seems like they have read this tactic over and over again. The snappy over on B, rest of the team through toilets and long, and they are just locking things down nicely here. They're not over-rotating, not rotating too fast. We've seen this boost a bunch of times from Kutcher and Adren, paying out for them in spades. Mao started to step his game up as well, as I mentioned previously. Just in the nick of time as far as HellRaisers are concerned. Now here comes the grenade spam. Kutcher still in the same position. He's forced to drop down. That was a poor timing from him. He drops down into the crosshairs. Adren opens up. He gets one before Freeze puts him out of this round, momentarily silencing him. And now Copenhagen Wolves, they have finally managed to get themselves a player advantage and the bomb planted. This is something we haven't seen from them on this side thus far. Hunter gets himself one, and a second surely. No, he just about misses that one, but there's Dozier who gets himself taken out. Mao's now in a 1 versus 3. He's got the first frag under his belt, but he's got to get that defuse as well. And the smokes on the side of Copenhagen Wolves. Mao is trying to push with the 570s. A valiant attempt, but he gets dropped. And Copenhagen Wolves are going to take the first map in this epic best of 2. Oh my goodness, I need to catch my breath after that one, guys. I'm sure you do as well. What a fantastic game that was. There are the scores for you. Top fragging Kutcher, 36-32.